Someone's been careless leaving a perfectly good shovel lying about.
Ah, Mr. Poirot.
Miss Brewster? An unusual place to find the ballet teacher?
Not entirely. My past seems to still be haunting me.
The girl you mentioned who died?
Yes, Mr. Poirot, I need your help.
If it is in my power.
She was a student of mine in Brixham. A number of students from a nearby girls' school would come to us for ballet instruction. Millie Parsons was one of those. Returning to the school from a ballet class, she was attacked and strangled to death. I want you to find her killer.
What a coincidence, Poirot. No sooner do we begin to look into the Parsons girl's murder when we are asked to do just that.
Coincidence, Hastings? Poirot does not trust such coincidences. Do you know the significance of the pole and the circle?
I think perhaps. Do you?
I have my suspicions, mademoiselle.
You do?
The chicken feathers stained with blood, Hastings? You speak of the voodoo, do you not?
My God, I hoped I was wrong. How can it be here?
Millie Parsons was the girl who died several months ago?
Yes, in May. The police investigated. At one point, the rector of the church was suspected, but nothing was ever proved.
Do you recall the name of this man?
I don't think I ever knew it. I couldn't bring myself to follow the investigation. The details, it was just far too painful.
What was the name of the school where Millie Parsons was a student?
Miss Porter's School for Young Ladies. It was on the other side of a small wood, less than half a mile away from our ballet academy.
Where have you encountered voodoo before?
Understand I don't believe in it. But at the girls' school Millie Parsons attended, there was a math instructor named Gideon Fell. He left the school under some sort of cloud a few weeks after Millie died, and with only days left in the term. It had something to do with voodoo.
He was a practitioner?
I know no more than that, I'm afraid.
Do you believe in the power of voodoo, Mademoiselle Brewster?
Me? No, of course not. Superstitious nonsense. But if one does believe in something like that, well, it can come to have an enormous power over one. Don't you agree?
Certainement.
I should be getting back. Please let me know if you learn anything about Millie.
I shall do so, mademoiselle. You have my word.
Poirot, how can you investigate a case that happened months ago and miles away from here?
Colonel Weston will be able to request the files.
Voodoo in South Devon? A rum business.
As you say. Good evening, Madame Redfern.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Poirot.
Is there anything I can do?
No. No, there is not. Do you know what I'm most sick of in this place? Pity. Do you think I can't see? All the time people are saying, poor Mrs. Redfern, that poor little woman. I'm not little. I'm tall. They say little because they're sorry for me, and I can't bear it.
Madame, the Elena Marshalls of this world do not count.
Nonsense.
I assure you it is true. The dominion is of the moment and for the moment. To count, really and truly to matter, a woman must have goodness or brains. The Elena Marshalls are the ones to be pitied. Your husband loves you, madame. I know it.
You can't know it.
Yes, I know it. I have seen him looking at you.
I can't bear it. I can't bear it.
Patience, only patience is required. I have obtained for you another sketch pad.
That's very kind of you.
It is a small thing, madame, I realize.
No, really, Monsieur Poirot. 'Tis very thoughtful. It's all right. I'm better now. You are a very kind man, Monsieur Poirot. Thank you.
A new day, Hastings, August 25th. The day that murder came to Seadrift Island. What have we learned? Much of the mystery seems to swirl around Mrs. Marshall, or Alena Stewart as her fans call her. You agree?
Yes, that seems clear.
And two mysteries are solved. The photograph is found beneath Major Barry's pillow. The typewriter of the most charming Mademoiselle Darnley is discovered beneath the bed of the Redferns. Christine Redfern has reason to send such notes, perhaps. Her husband's attentions to Mademoiselle Stewart are obvious to all. At last, there is the murder unsolved of Millie Parsons. Why does Mademoiselle Brewster ask Poirot to take it up? Several of the guests at the Smuggler's Rest Hotel appear to have in common Brixham, the place where she died. Mademoiselle Brewster, Stephen Lane, the former vicar, even Mademoiselle Linda Marshall, who it now appears was a student at Millie's school.
Yes, Miss Porter's school for young ladies. What happened there?
Voodoo rituals? An anthropology teacher awakens in fear to the pounding of the pagan drums?
Voodoo? Nonsense, if you ask me.
Perhaps. But as Miss Darnley said, not nonsense to those who believe. And do not forget Tom Cutter's ghost. We saw.
I admit that gave me a turn. But ghosts? Voodoo? Poirot, even for you, this case has elements of the sensational. No sensible person could credit.
Perhaps. But I will give you the very important clue. Think on the nature of Alena Stewart. Watch as the investigation proceeds, Hastings. Until we can understand fully and completely exactly the kind of person Alena Stewart was, we shall not be able to see clearly the kind of person who took her life. As before, if you find yourself unable to progress, I will assist with the magic of the Finger of Suspicion.
Ah, yes. Time now for a fourth clue to its secret.
The clue is drawer.
Power, lamp, desk, drawer. Do I search the drawer for a switch, perhaps? Or is it something more subtle?
I say no more. When you are ready, my friend, we will return to Seadrift Island. It is a morning of sunshine, warm breezes, and a murder most foul.